This happened a few years ago. I had just graduated college and was looking for a way to clear my head after some stressful months. I've always loved the outdoors, especially the desert. The openness, the silence, and the sense of being completely alone, it gives me a sense of peace that I just can't get anywhere else. So, when I decided to take a trip, I figured the Arizona desert was the place to go. I had planned everything. A remote campsite a few hours outside of Tucson. I was going solo for this, just me, my truck, some camping gear, and a lot of time to think. The drive out was long, but peaceful. The desert was quiet, stretching endlessly under a sun that baked everything in sight. By the time I set up camp, the sun was starting to dip, casting long shadows across the barren landscape. I made a fire, ate some quick food, and settled in with a book. As the night crept on, I was almost lulled to sleep when I heard something soft at first, like the whisper of footsteps on the sand. I stopped. My heart skipped a beat. I wasn't expecting anyone. I told myself it was probably just the wind, or maybe some animal. I grabbed my flashlight and shone it around the camp, but I couldn't see anything out of the ordinary. The sound stopped. I tried to ignore it and went back to reading, but the hairs on the back of my neck wouldn't settle. Around midnight, I decided to turn in. I crawled into my tent and zipped it up tight. It was pitch black, the kind of darkness where you can't see your hand in front of your face. I was just starting to drift off when I heard it again. This time, it was louder, closer, soft footsteps moving just outside my tent. I froze. I was trying to convince myself that it was an animal, maybe a coyote or a deer, but these weren't animal steps. They were deliberate, slow, almost too careful. I grabbed my phone, my flashlight, and quietly unzipped the tent. As I crept outside, I tried to peer through the darkness. Nothing, just the firelight casting long, flickering shadows. I turned in circles, scanning every direction, but still nothing. The steps stopped. The silence was deafening. I stood there, heart pounding, listening. I couldn't shake the feeling that someone or something was watching me. Then, as quickly as it started, the steps began again. I couldn't help myself. I shouted, "Who's out there?" No answer. But the footsteps grew louder, faster, as if they were coming toward me. I scrambled into my truck and locked the doors. For the next hour, I sat there in the cab, the cold creeping into my bones, just waiting. No one approached the truck, but I could hear rustling in the distance, faint voices drifting on the wind, barely audible. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. I started the engine and drove off, not bothering to pack up the camp. I just needed to get out of there, away from the sounds that had kept me up all night. I wasn't sure what had happened or who had been out there, but I knew it wasn't normal. I drove back to the nearest town and checked into a motel for the night. The whole drive back, I kept looking over my shoulder, but the road was empty. I still can't explain what happened. I never went back to that spot, and I don't think I ever will. Maybe it was just someone messing with me, or maybe it was something else entirely. To this day, I still feel the unease when I think about it, especially when I'm out in the desert again. The silence there is heavy, and it feels like it holds secrets.